So watch key 831 support and 860 resistance here moving forward. EYES doesn't have enough pre-market volume, and neither does TTPH, to look at those specifically for morning action, but we will be watching to see if the 10-day moving average for TTPH is going to be turned into support, and we'll have to see what that level is when we open here. Let's look at X pre-market. Trading very nicely. The 20-period moving average is support of 1070. And below that, support's all the way down at 1045. So 1077 is the key level for X to break. We had about 4 days with the upper wick of the candlesticks pulling back from the 1070. So that's a key level to break above if we're going to see this move continue. So if you guys have any tickers you want to look at, let me know. Facebook 20-period moving average support of 92.64. And we have the 100-period support of 92.22. We're going to have to be looking at all kinds of time frames, hourly and 30-minute chart, as we're moving up here to battle some of these key levels. The 20-period moving average support for the hourly chart of Facebook is 92.26. That will be a key level to hold. Amazon. Hourly chart has all moving averages as support, so let's zoom into the 5-minute chart. 20-period moving average support of 536.30. Next support below that is 530, so a little bit of a drop there. Looking at the daily chart for Amazon for some moving average resistance or support, we have the middle Bollinger Band at 524.08. No moving averages as resistance on the daily chart. We are looking at resistance around 540. That has been a level of resistance and support, and a close above 540 will be extremely bullish for Amazon, and a close above the high close of September 21st, 548.39, will be extremely bullish and signal we have some more upside for Amazon coming. Netflix, we've got 11 minutes until the bell rings here. Netflix 20-period moving average support. We have, I'm not sure why it's telling me that we're trading live with Netflix here. Let's see, there we go, pre-market. 20-period moving average support of 107.23. Down below that, 106.33. And again, make sure you're checking the daily charts here as we're coming back into some resistance areas. The 50-day moving average resistance is 108.94. And looking like we're going to open up potentially above the upper Bollinger Band, which was 106.91 on Friday. That's going to be a resistance level. Watch how Netflix reacts to the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. UGAS, we see natural gas consolidating a little bit. Currently battling key 100-period moving average resistance, 578, and we are now above it. You can see we were all the way down to 560 here pre-market about 20-30 minutes ago, and we've had a nice 20 cents bounce. So seeing some action in UGAS. Looking at the daily chart for UGAS. Natural gas is fresh off of an all-time low here, and we are seeing lower Bollinger Band resistance of 578. We should open above that today. The high on Friday was 585, so a break of 585 will be bullish. 10-day moving average resistance is all the way up at 686, so there's some room to bounce if natural gas bulls step up. WLL, 20-period moving average support of 1706. After the 20-period moving average support, there's a lot of room before we find the next 100-period moving average support down at 1627. On the daily chart, we see the 50-day moving average at 1790 resistance, but that's going to drop down with the open as well. Keep your eye on that level. Be careful of the gap up. High on Friday was 1696, so we will be gapping up this morning with WLL. Hemp, there is not much to say pre-market at all. We're going to be watching for a break of 5.5, which has been resistance the past couple days. We did close above the 10-day moving average on the daily chart, looking for a close above the middle Bollinger Band, which is 0.056. So that would be a very bullish sign for hemp. We're looking for a green week on the weekly chart with a nice bullish hammer signaling the bullish reversal. We want to see confirmation of that with a green week. EYES, not a whole lot of pre-market volume either. 585 currently. Have to look to the daily chart to see. We're looking to confirm the bullish reversal candlestick, which formed on Friday. Nice, very bullish day. We have 616, which was Thursday's high of day. If we see that break, it will be a bullish sign, and the 10-day moving average is all the way up at 762, so some room to move for eyes if we see the bulls step in. And we're watching X as well. So we'll pretty much be watching eyes, X, Sunni, and TTPH to see how sustained this bullish morning is going to be, and if we are going to see a pullback and a fill of this gap. And SPY will also help us dictate if that's going to happen or not. We have seen Sunni trading with SPY, and more so I'm seeing TTPH doing that pattern as well. So both of those, it'll be important to see how SPY is trading before dictating how we're going to trade that today. And as always, we wait about 10 or 15 minutes for the market to settle in before picking a direction, as we have seen many times in the recent past where bulls or bears get trapped without seeing how things are going to settle down in the direction we're going to head at. Tesla currently pulling back from pre-market. We have the key 100 period moving average support, which has just failed, 247.68. We are trading below that. Low pre-market of 246.88, and if that falls, we're coming down to 244.08, the 200 period moving average. Let's look at the daily chart. There's a whole lot of moving average resistance above Tesla here in the 250 to 254 range. And we're looking at support on the daily chart is the lower Bollinger Band, currently 238. But definitely lots of work to do for Tesla to get back above these moving average resistances. So looking for bullish reversals, signs today from TANH, KND, looking for bullish reversal confirmation after that nice hammer doji we saw on Friday, and VLKAY keeps setting new lows, looking for the bears to lose steam on that one eventually, but being very cautious. And also we have ASNA, we're looking for a close above 14, very close to being a bullish breakout chart, but need to see that close above 14. Which time frames in? CTRV pulling back from a pre-market high of 428. We have 20 period moving average support of 294, so that's way down there. Looking like this might be a gap and trap candidate. Let's see what the daily chart's looking like. CTRV. We had a high Friday of 222, so we are gapping way up. 360 is all the way at the 200 period moving average resistance of 364, 50-day moving average resistance of 377, and 100-day moving average resistance of 410. So I would say this is a prime candidate of a gap and trap where we're going to gap up, hit those moving average resistances along with the upper Bollinger Band, and then pull back. So keep your eye on that from happening, and note how much volume we have pre-market here that is driving up the price comparatively. On Friday there was pretty abysmal volume. We're looking at about, let's see, about $45,000 worth of volume for CTRV on Friday. So a very illiquid stock most of the time. Definitely worth knowing. OPK. 20 period moving average support of 909, and 880 is the 100 below that. On the daily chart for OPK, we are seeing that we had bullish reversal confirmation on Friday, closed at 910. 10-day moving average resistance was 911. That's going to drop down and be support. Bullish MACD cross, and we're looking at resistance of the middle Bollinger Band of 976. For a stock like this that is just seeing its bounce, you want to look at all time frames, because we have the hourly chart with some resistance levels. 959 of the 200 period. 30-minute chart, we have all support, so that's the last level to get above on the hourly chart. PEGI. Not seeing any pre-market volume for PEGI, so switching over to look at the daily chart. Nice bullish day on Friday, looking for that bullish MACD cross. Currently trading at 217, near the high of the day. The middle Bollinger Band resistance is 2080. 10-day moving average support of 2006. So very nice consolidation after the spike up in the morning on Friday and was able to maintain those gains. So we'll see if we see some continued strength in PEGI. Three minutes until the bell opens here. UWTI up this morning. Nice spike recently in oil. We have 1141 currently. And looking at the daily chart for UWTI, we have middle Bollinger Band resistance of 1098. We're above that. And the 50-day moving average resistance of 1167. That's going to be a tough one, and it will be bullish when we turn that into support. So look at the 50-day moving average. When we open today, that's going to drop down and be closer to 1155, 1160-ish, and that is going to be the battleground for today. Fold, the 20-period moving average support is 729, high pre-market of 768. Looking at the daily chart, also note this 200-period moving average resistance, which is dropping fairly quickly at 852. Seeing 50,000 shares in hemp pre-market here. Anytime you see pre-market activity on a penny stock, it perks your attention because it is not common. And you hear people saying that there's no such thing as pre-market trading, which normal Joe, you and I can't pre-market trade, but there's definitely some market maker activity going on. Anytime we would see lots of activity and volume in marijuana or hemp penny stocks, there would be pre-market action and shares traded. So that is catching my attention this morning. We'll keep an eye on that. So fold the daily chart. Very, very, very ugly candlestick on Friday. Big gap down, tried to recover a bunch of those losses and then got squashed again after bouncing from $6 all the way up to $10 and then pulling back. So currently 761. But again, with all that selling resistance on Friday, going to be difficult to get on the bull train for fold. So we got 1 minute until we open here. AMBA 20-period moving average support 59.11. I don't have enough time to do the rest of those tickers before we have the open. I need to pause for a moment while we transition. 5, 4, 3. Alright, we're back here now waiting for the open, less than 1 minute away. If you guys could try and get the tickers in before the last minute before open here, it would leave me more time, but I'm not going to struggle or rush to try and cover BBY and pay as we have the open right now. So watching SPY 20-period moving average support is the key here in the morning first thing, and that level is 196.33. Going to test it right off the bat. SUNY hit a high of 859. We are watching the 860s range for perhaps some resistance, but looking like we're blowing through that right now on nice volume. High pre-market was all the way up at 870. Excuse me, 896 was the high pre-market, so there's some room to move up. X, nice 3% start to the day. EYES is up, testing $6 psychological resistance. KND is extending some of those gains we saw from the bullish reversal candlestick. And SPY is bouncing up, testing its high. So SUNY is running with SPY. TTPH is up as well, 4.5%, looking great. So we'll keep our eye on SPY to see where SUNY and TTPH are going to settle. Looking at the daily charts to find out where SUNY and TTPH 10-day moving average resistance is going to land. For TTPH, my daily chart has not updated yet, so we don't have that 10-day moving average resistance. But for SUNY, it is 822, and that is now support. So we'll look for the 10-day moving average support to hold on any kind of pullback for SUNY. And SPY is looking good here, healthy first thing in the morning. We have a high pre-market of SPY for 196.71. That will be a key level to break. If we break it, it'll be looking really good. as we have X coming up on psychological resistance of $11. And looking like we have a bullish start to the day. We'll see if we can hold these gains or if the gap is going to fill. Looking at BBY on the daily chart. A little bit of a gap open there as well. We're seeing resistance at 38.06. High of the day is 38.04, so look for a break of 38.06. Let's see some key levels for TTPH now that we have some trading action. Seeing a little bit of an upper wick, but that just quickly got erased, so looking good for TTPH. A little bit of a spread between the bid and the ask there on the daily chart. So the 10-day moving average resistance is 879 for TTPH. Want to see that turned into support and see some continuation. We have resistance at $10 psychological levels, so we could see TTPH run. We have Sunni, a new high of day, looking very strong. Keep your eye on volume for Sunni. The RSI for the 5-minute chart is 64, so still a little bit of room to run, and we have the 896 resistance from pre-market. Looks like it's going to be tested. SPY, a new high of day, carrying Sunni up. There is the break of 896, testing $9 psychological resistance. Lots of volume coming in for Sunni. Let's see what volume we had on Friday. There's the break of 9 for Sunni, looking very good. Almost up 10% here. Great follow through. Volume on Friday was 42 million, already at 3 million here, so we'll see if we can continue this bullish volume. RSI is getting close to oversold, so definitely expecting a little bit of consolidation around the $9 resistance level. EYES is above $6, looking great as well, looking for that break of 616. Sunni back above $9. The longer it stays above $9, the stronger that support will be. As we have SPY 2 cents short from its high of day as well. So keep your eye on 616 for EYES. And these bullish stocks on Friday that closed very strong are definitely seeing lots of green follow through. 9% for Sunni, 3% for TTPH, 3% for X, and 5% for EYES. KND is now up 2.25%. Nice strong uptrend. The 200 period moving average resistance is all the way at 1423. So some nice continuation from the bullish reversal candlestick seen Friday on KND. SPY is now setting another new high, continuing upwards and taking Sunni with it, as Sunni is testing its high of day and looking to set a new one here. And let's see, the pre-market high again for SPY was 196.71, so we just broke that. That's a bullish sign. We'll see how much upward momentum we have. Let's look at the daily chart for SPY and see what other resistance we have now that we have tackled the previous resistance I was looking at. There is that gap up on the daily chart now, but we have resistance, the high of September 21st, 197.68. So about $1 left of upside before we encounter that daily chart resistance. Lots of swings now with Sunni as we have SPY continuing upward, but we have Sunni consolidating down 20 cents now from its high. So support is 861, a little bit ways down. Perhaps a point for entry if we consolidate, cool off the RSI, and test that support and hold it. As SPY is continuing to go up, we see Sunni pulling back, so that's a little bit of a break of the norm. Very bullish SPY to start the day here. Let's see how long we can keep it up. 1.5% on Friday and currently up 1% right now. $9 is definitely the SUNY level we are watching this morning. Just pulled back from it right there on that bounce attempt. As SPY is definitely looking strong. SUNY, nice drop and bounce off of the 4-period exponential moving average support and right back up to the high of the day where we just got rejected. So 905, definitely a strong level of resistance. We'll look for a break of that for the party to continue for the bulls. 897 had a big bid that just got erased, so lots of volume and volatility for SUNY here. Volume is now up to 5 million. That's a whole lot of volume for the first 7 minutes of trading. TTPH is pulling back as well, as SPY is now down 20 cents from its high. So let's see where we're going to find some SPY support. A little bit of an upper wick forming on this candlestick. 20-period moving average support of 196.35. ASNA is losing a lot of its support, looking bearish. Don't think we're going to see that close over 14 that we need anytime in the near future. Might have to put that one on the back burner depending on where we close today. Nice quick trade, EAT. CTRV finding 20-period moving average support. That level is 316. Nice strong volume bounce. Pre-market high of 428. Very volatile and risky play. Here's SPY setting a new high over 197 now. 197.68 is the resistance we're watching. Let's see if SUNY follows suit and breaks back above $9 following the very bullish move of SPY. TTPH is not following along. We have 20-period moving average support of 852. Low of the day is 853, so we're coming back to test that level. Support for TTPH is 852, and then 824 is the 100 period below it. Let's check other time frames to see what kind of resistance we have. 100 period moving average resistance on the 60-minute chart is 877. That is a key level to turn into support, and where we are pulling back from currently this morning. So keep your eye on the hourly chart for TTPH. So far, a nice hold of this 20-period moving average support. We'll see if it's able to maintain that. SPY is still holding 197, very strong. And SUNY is looking to consolidate a bit and see if it can test that $9 resistance level again. Here we come up to it. Volume is still pouring in on SUNY. 897 resistance now, it appears. Just got rejected multiple times from that level, so need to see a break of that before $9 will be tested. So a bullish start to the day. Definitely want to be cautious as a bull with the gap that we have seen. A lot of people's play was probably to hold over the weekend with the strong close and sell the gap up this morning. So we'll see if any of that pressure does come in. SUNY is coming back to test. Previous candle hit a low of 852. That's not right. 882. And we just had another low of 885. So still a higher low. We'll see if we come down and test that 882 level. And below that 862. Okay, so we just broke that 882. So now 862 is the 20-period moving average support. Not trading hand in hand with SPY this morning. I think the large increase in volume has something to do with that. Almost 6 million shares traded in the first 11 minutes, and we have a total of, I believe, 42 million on Friday. So definitely should see an increase in volume on SUNY today. GoPro is getting hammered. Key 200 period moving average support of 29.96, and we have the RSI below 30. RSI is currently 23. We are looking at the daily chart. The double bottom support was found at 28.90 and 28.91. So coming back down, we'll see if we test those levels. Still a ways to go before we drop that low. SPY is still maintaining 197, so that is definitely a good sign for the bulls here this morning. The longer it maintains that level, the better. SUNY coming back up. Let's see if it breaks 897. Did set a lower low on the 5-minute candlestick. VTL. 200 period moving average support of $4. That's a good psychological level as well. And let's look at the daily chart. I know we were consolidating, looking like we might test the middle Bollinger Band support. Middle Bollinger Band support was 375 and 10-day moving average resistance of 413. High today of 410. My daily chart has not updated yet. We still need another 2 minutes. I believe that is because it is... I'm not sure why that is, but once that updates, we'll see what the 10-day moving average resistance is. I expect it'll be right around 410, which is the level we're pulling back from. Need to see support of the middle Bollinger Band hold. Volume on Friday was 180,000. So we'll see if we continue this decreasing volume consolidation pattern. Here's SUNY testing $9. KND is looking good. RSI is overbought, on KND 87, so definitely don't want to be entering at this time. Support's all the way down at 1338. SUNY back up above $9. That is a good sign for the bulls. Need KND to consolidate before entry. Here's SPY consolidating a bit after that very bullish second candlestick. We'll see what volume is comparatively. With less than 1 minute left to go before it closes, we're going to see nice decreasing volume on this consolidation, which is a good sign for the bulls. SUNY did set a very quick new high of day, 910. But still seeing that resistance in the low $9 range. OZRK. RSI is at 87.5 on the 5-minute chart, so I certainly do not suggest entry. It looks like we had a gap up, currently trading at 44.20. Looking at the daily chart, did have a gap up. The 100-day moving average resistance is 44.17, so currently battling that level right now with the RSI at 87. I would expect a little bit of consolidation here. If we do get above 44.17 convincingly, the next resistance is 44.42. So SUNY now almost 7 million volume. Certainly lots of attention there today. We'll see if it can hold $9. After this, we're looking at $10 psychological resistance for SUNY. TTPH is struggling with its 10-day moving average resistance and setting new lows. So let's see what daily chart support looks like for TTPH, as we are currently struggling to confirm. Well, we did confirm the bullish reversal on Friday, so now we're rejecting from the 10-day moving average resistance, and support is not found on the daily chart until down at psychological $8 support. You guys, it looks a little too late at the moment to be entering. I expect some consolidation there. Good entry was when this 100 period moving average resistance was turned into a support, and then it was back tested. You could see it drop down, tested that support level, and then continued higher. Let's look at the daily chart for you guys. Right now it needs to consolidate. Support is 579. And currently the candlestick is confirming the bullish reversal seen Friday, but obviously there's a long way to go before the end of the day. Broke the high of Friday, so looking good, but need consolidation at the moment. SPY is still bullish. Volume is decreasing as we're settling into the day here. And SUNY is coming up to test its high of day of $9.10. Decreasing volume as well there as we get settled in. Now we are 17 minutes into the trading day. And we can see that the bullish action is certainly holding up. SUNY with the new high up to 912 now. RSI is at 68, so it's approaching overbought. Not there just yet. Looking at X, seeing some consolidation here. RSI was up over 75. We hit a RSI high of 79, now consolidating, but still above 75. We have psychological resistance, $11. 5-minute chart needs to see some consolidation. We have support of the 20 period at 1075. And the 10-day moving average is support at 1077 on X daily chart. There's a little bit of a gap there to be aware of. MACD is looking good for a bullish cross. So need a little bit of consolidation on the 5-minute chart before heading higher, in my opinion, on X. SUNY holding up nicely, almost up to 8 million volume now. Volume is certainly not short in SUNY. We have lots of traders happy to get in on this action. CTRV, certainly can't get on yourself about selling too early. Locking in profits was the smart thing to do. Could just as easily be down at $3 right now. CTRV is certainly a breakout, but we know that it is going to pull back fairly hard in the near future. SPY continuing to head up, taking SUNY with it. New high of day for both. So a very bullish start to the day here for the markets, and SUNY is tagging along. Past 2 days for SUNY, 10% gains each. Awesome trader. WFC. RSI is 78, overbought on the 5-minute chart. Let's look at the daily chart. Currently hitting $52, and we have no resistance until, well, we do have resistance at 52.03. That is where the gap fills, so the gap just filled on the daily chart. And now it's looking like there's some room to move, but the 5-minute chart is overbought, so certainly not suggesting entry at this point. Looking at other time frames, all moving averages are support, so a bullish uptrend there. CMLS, slow and steady, 20-period moving average support of 74 cents. SUNY coming up to 920, very bullish day for SUNY. 10-day moving average resistance of CMLS is 77. That's going to be a key battle today. SPY looking great. RSI on the 5-minute for SPY is 66, so could be getting a little bit extended. Needs some consolidation in the near future, but not just yet. Certainly wouldn't short Ford based on negative news alone. If it is unable to keep this 20-period moving average support, if that turns into resistance, we could see a drop down to 1394. Increasing volume is a negative sign on a downtrend, that is. And we're certainly seeing a lot of volume come in now, so definitely coming down to $13.94 for Ford. Our jet breaking $6 and continuing on. The RSI is getting overbought as well in the 5-minute chart. Going to see consolidation here. Certainly not a good entry, but nice coverage from last week into this week, watching for the $6 break. CTRV all the way up to 480. RSI still not above 70 on the 5-minute chart, but certainly getting overbought for CTRV. So the bulls are still in charge today, that's for sure. There's the bearish reversal gravestone doji forming on the 5-minute chart for CTRV. Still 2.5 minutes until this candlestick forms. WLL is consolidating. 20-period moving average support is 1738. Let's see where we found resistance on the daily chart. Resistance is the 50-day moving average at 1780. So that's actually currently still support, but there's an upper wick forming on the daily chart showing rejection from the upper Bollinger Band, which is 1858. And now we're coming down to test 1780 50-day moving average support. SPY and Sunni are consolidating a little bit. TTPH is giving back all of its gains, not following the market. Support is the 100-period moving average down at 826 now. And resistance is the 20-period at 854. I expect to trade within this channel for a little while, and a break of resistance or a break of support will dictate where we are headed with TTPH. But notice the other three we were watching from Bullish Fridays, EYES, X, and Sunni, are all maintaining their gains nicely, while TTPH is now pulling back 50 cents, which is very significant on a $9 stock. UWTI up 5%, and UGAS seeing a little bit of a bounce as well. SPY maintaining very nicely up here, seeing a bearish reversal candlestick forming with less than 1 minute. That is a gravestone doji at the top of an uptrend, signals a bearish reversal. We'll see if we get confirmation of a red candlestick the next 5 minutes, which would indicate some consolidation, perhaps a move down to 196.55 20-period moving average support. You can see X is consolidating as well, testing its 20-period moving average support of 1076 right now. The key here was the doji at the top of the uptrend. Bearish reversal doji confirmed the next candlestick, and then 2 more candlesticks in that direction. The increase in bearish volume here on this candlestick was the sure sign of a pullback, and looking like X is going to consolidate and potentially try and find support on this 20-period moving average. Let's zoom out to some other time frames to see what else we're looking at, as we just lost that 20-period moving average support. Ugly bearish reversal candlestick on the 30-minute chart, giving back a lot of those gains. We'll see where this candlestick closes with 5 minutes to go, but trying to maintain that 1076 support. SPY is currently not confirming the bearish reversal candlestick, but we still have a lot of time until this candlestick closes, and we'll be watching for potential red signaling we might consolidate to the 20-period moving average support. EYES is maintaining nicely. Let's check out volume there. 75,000 so far. Looking at the daily chart for Friday's total volume, which was just under 500,000. So seeing a little bit of volume. Just broke $6 support. We have a gap. 586 was the high on Friday. The low today was 588. So just a 2-cent gap right there might need to fill. SPY is heading up almost near its high of day again, so not confirming that bearish reversal just yet. And we see X is currently maintaining that 20-period moving average support with a nice lower wick, showing the bulls did buy this dip, following SPY a bit here. And I expect again TTPH 827 support and 853 resistance to trade in that range for the near future. Let's see what some of the big board names are doing. Netflix, lots of volatility as usual. Pulling back, trying to set a higher low. 100-period moving average support of 106.45, currently above that. Below that, the 200-period 105.60. And we got the 20-period resistance of 107.11. That's knocked the price down all morning and will be key if that can be turned into support. Tesla has turned its 20-period moving average into support, so that's a bullish sign, looking for a break above 248.88, and then that will mean a test of the high of day is coming. Shop very bullish. RSI is at 83 though, so certainly not entering here. Looking like it is trading up with the market. High of day currently. SUNY just broke its high of day as well. 924 is now the new high. Strong and steady uptrend, maintaining these exponential moving average supports on its way up. Still no sign of a bearish reversal just yet. RSI is at 69, so watching that level. If we see SPY consolidate, we will know that SUNY is going to face some pressure as well. And we'll see if eyes can get back above $6 psychological resistance. That's going to be a key level there. TTPH seeing a little bit of volume, trying to get above the 20-period moving average resistance of 854, as SUNY is up near its high of day as well. So the bulls still in control, negating this bearish reversal on SPY at the moment. And a strong showing today, the fact that the bulls did not give up these gains to start with the little bit of a gap open we did see today. KND continuing up, looking at $14 resistance now. I believe on the watch list last night I set a longer term target of 1570, which was the 200-week moving average resistance. Not saying it's going to happen this week, but it is looking like with some bullish momentum, that is the resistance level that will reject or will be a test for this bounce. I expect it to be rejected, but if it is turned into support, that would be even more favor for the bulls on the KND bounce. Currently testing that psychological 14 level right now. But we saw overbought RSI this morning, so I am assuming that it is still very overbought. Look at these green candlesticks. RSI is at 88. Short point might be this 200-period moving average resistance of 14.19 currently. So if we see it hit that level, watching volume, of course, within the next 15-20 minutes, that might be a nice short entry. SUNY continuing to look bullish. The bulls are finally back in town the past 2 days for SUNY. Middle Bollinger Band resistance on the daily chart is 988. SPY back to its high of day. Looking for more. Looking very good here. Here comes the break and a new high of day on SPY. Let's see if SUNY follows as it normally has. A little bit delayed recently, we have noticed. So would expect a new high of day for SUNY within the next 2 minutes if it is following that same pattern. So 1098 is the high for X. We're back up to that level, $11 psychological resistance. I is $6 psychological resistance. KND, we want to see it hit that 200-period moving average 5-minute resistance in the near future for a potential short entry. ASNA, we are very close to taking it off our watch as it is not holding key support. And watching SUNY the bull, as SPY is seeing a little bit of resistance here as well. So consolidation on SPY, we would be looking at the 20 period to hold 196.63. Caution on SUNY if you are bullish, as we are seeing this SPY pullback, breaking lower lows. Could see SUNY pull back down to $9 as well. So here's SUNY consolidating with SPY. Just saw a quick 10-cent drop right after those words escaped my mouth, and watching the 20 period moving average support for SUNY as well, which is down at 875. So a lot of room to drop here if we do consolidate. Looking for $9 psychological support first thing. Awesome, Jim. Glad you jumped on that this morning. So Apple, you can see very key resistance being rejected from the 200 period moving average resistance of 109.85 and the 20 period moving average resistance of 109.71. Lots of resistance for Apple to start the day. Facebook 20 period moving average support of 92.77. Let's see what kind of Twitter moves we are seeing with that CEO news, maintaining the 100 period moving average support of 26.48 and seeing that 27 strong resistance that is very prominent on the daily chart of Twitter. So watching for lower lows on SUNY. If you are short, we have a 9.11 double bottom currently on these two candlesticks. You want to see 9.11 break. SPY just broke 197. Looking for more consolidation there. 20 period moving average support of 196.63. Anytime you are playing against the market, you obviously want a very tight stop. There's a big ask for SUNY at 917. Watch how that gets reacted to. If the bulls are able to buy that up, it would obviously show some strength, but currently not able to do so. And again, 911, if we see a break there, it means more continued downside. So X is now setting high of day above $11, turning that psychological resistance into support. Nice bounce off the 20 period moving average support and heading higher, set a new high of day. So very bullish consolidation and breakout for X. And watching SUNY here, looking like that 911 mark might be some strong support as we are back at 920. And always watching SPY. Still no bearish confirmation. This is a bearish reversal candlestick we just saw, but not confirming it. We need a red candlestick to confirm and a lower low.